Hi there, Sonny and Heather. Gonna go ahead and apologize for the very late submission, but I wanted to make sure that I got this video in because I think that the impact that a spring retreat facilitator can have is immeasurable, and I definitely want to be a part of it after doing it a few years ago and after having the honor of leading it last year. So I wanted to stick around and be a part of it, and I thank you for letting me have that opportunity. Okay, so I'll go ahead and fly through these questions real quick. So the first one, a specific time where someone has impacted me and how that compels me to impact others. I remember in high school when I was just starting swimming and not maybe not even in high school in about eighth grade. Um, I had just joined this new club team. I didn't know anybody. I kind of felt like I was invisible. I was just kind of going through the motions. But I remember my coach who pulled me out of the water one day during a set, and he asked me who I was and where I was going to high school. And I didn't know him very well. I'd only been swimming for him for about a year, or not even a year, just a month or so. And he said, "I think you can do a really good job, and if you can do something special with this, and if you continue to push yourself, then you can do whatever you set your mind to." And that really meant a lot to me as an eighth grader who wasn't really sure I even belonged in that pool. So um, just understanding that the impact that a mentor can have, just even with some kind words, even in passing, the impact that can have, that's really compelled me to just remember that my what I say to people, even in passing, just kind of has power, and that especially in this organization like Cicerone's, that can have a very lasting impact. Um, what do I remember about my new member retreat? I remember standing in that circle around the pool in the president's mansion with a candle, and just kind of thinking back to how special that was, and how I knew I was getting into something that was going to be great. And I've carried that memory with me um, through the good times and the bad with Cicerones. Even if things get tough, I feel like I don't belong. I feel like I'm not doing the best that I can. I think back to that moment, and I remember that I'm still here for a reason, and that moment just kind of unites us all, no matter what happens. Third question: past experience in group facilitation and how I get others to dialogue. I, I I think back to spring retreat my sophomore year, where I had the pleasure of being a spring retreat facilitator, and I remember the challenge that I had. I'd never been in a situation where I had to compel a conversation quite like that before, especially with a group of people who weren't very familiar with that organization. And I think what I kind of learned that day, and what I've tried to carry through the next few years of my college career, is that almost the less said the better. As long as you kind of act as like a spark to the conversation, that you kind of fan that flame, so to speak, as you continue on in that dialogue. I think that's the role that a facilitator can make. It's almost what isn't said that I think that has the most power, and what's said outside of those specific conversations that I think people can really remember. But as long as you're kind of truly influencing, um, what is said in a very subtle way, I think that's the most power that a facilitator can have. What my friends would say my greatest strength is, I think that would be the ability to judge things rationally, and to think, rationally without jumping to emotion in things. I also think that's my greatest weakness. Sometimes I think I don't put enough emotion into my um, thought process and abilities, and that's something that I definitely want to work on moving forward. Not only this year, but after college. How many months is it? Is it like 5 months now? Jeez, it's crazy. Um, Last question. Any new elements I would want to see? I think that the greatest challenge that I think that the spring retreat has to overcome is making sure that the seasoned members are integrated and are as invested as the new members are. I think that's the biggest challenge. I think there's sometimes it's a required event, so there's kind of a stigma behind it, that it's something that the season members aren't as enthusiastic about. And I think making sure that they feel included and that they feel valued is something that is very valuable. Very valuable. Um, that's it. I hope that that's enough for you guys. Thank you so much again for the opportunity. I look forward to hearing back from you. I think you guys are doing a great job. I'm sure you're killing it. And I look forward to seeing what Spring Retreat's like this year. Thank you guys. Bye.